Welcome to the third and final episode in our Crushing Colorado series. The first episode focused on downtown Colorado Springs and Garden of the Gods. Next, we popped over to Canyon City to check out the Royal Gorge. Last and certainly not least, we're going to show you how and why you should probably crush a day in Manitou Springs, the hippy dippy sister city to Colorado Springs, where specific destinations are available, but not really critical. We'll be taking a look at area attractions like the Manitou Incline, Pikes Peak, Seven Falls, the Manitou Cliff Dwellings, and hiking through the so-called hogbacks of Red Rock Canyon, thereby concluding our coverage of virtually everything there possibly is to do in the Springs area in 3 short videos. You better buckle up, Buttercup, because you're rolling with Tipsy Gypsy Travels, the anti-travel channel that refuses to serve the usual milquetoast bullshit. Yeah, we're maybe a little rough around the edges here, and come to think of it, about all we offer is hot beer and shitty service, but at least that hot beer is free. I'm a hail chaser, a traveling dent guy, and as long as those diamonds keep falling from the sky, pirates like me are running all over creation, following the hailstorms, fixing the cars, and fucking around. And guess what? We're all out of cars. Once the storms dry up and I'm back home and off the hail trail, that's when the whole world of travel opens right up to Annie and I, and our own travel adventures kick off for 6 months straight. I'm Mike, aka MC Norris, published author and tipsy gypsy, and believe me, I got stories to tell. We're rolling over to Manitou Springs for the afternoon, which is about a 15 to 20 minute drive from just about anywhere in Colorado Springs. Along the way, let's talk briefly about some of the other nearby attractions that I hadn't mentioned yet, and I'll explain why they didn't get featured in this trilogy. The short answer is time. Time is precious, time is money, and when you're on vacation with a limited time window, it's really your most precious resource. So here's a few big tourist attractions that didn't make my cut and why. Number 1, the Manitou Incline. Touted as one of the most brutal hikes in North America. See, I could stop right there, kids. That's all you need to say to me. There's no reason to add that it's 2,744 steps on a 45 to 68 grade that gains 2,000 feet in elevation per mile for a total hike of about 4.5 miles round trip and 2 to 3 hours of extreme physical suffering. Right there, we're all instantly divided into 2 very distinct camps. One camp is intrigued by this extreme personal challenge. The other camp, my camp, would rather shit in their hands and clap than attempt this asinine activity. The Manitou Incline gets a hard pass from me. Y'all go ahead. I'll be waiting down at the brewery. Number 2 on my chuck it list, Pikes Peak. Yeah, I know, that's a big one. There's a lot of pressure to do this when you're in the area. The billboards are everywhere, and it's just as synonymous with Colorado Springs as Garden of the Gods. But I promise you, it's skippable. Even though any conversation you're likely going to have with anyone in the Springs area regarding tourist attractions is probably going to include the inquiry, have you been up to Pikes Peak yet? For me, this one utterly fails the whole loss of precious time to reward ratio, because it can burn up a big chunk of a whole day to creep your way up the mountain in a giant line of traffic, and the trip back down is even slower once your brakes start burning up. So, the reward is the view, I guess, but it's honestly not that impressive compared to a million other views in Colorado. It's cold up there, so if you do go, plan to feel the effects of plunging temperature, high winds, and an altitude of over 14,000 feet. You'll likely be very dizzy within 15 minutes of reaching the summit, and you might have a dull headache for the next 48 hours. It's honestly just not worth it if you're short on time. Same kind of problem with Cripple Creek. Takes a lot of precious time to get up there, and there's really no big reward at the journey's end. If you're into gambling and little casinos and saloons, this is obviously on your to-do list, because that's quite literally all there is to do in Cripple Creek. The Manitou Cliff Dwellings? No excuse here, I just didn't do it. You can see them from the highway near Manitou Springs. I'm sure it's a cheap and relatively quick and easy stop to add to any day's itinerary, I just didn't make the time to squeeze it in. Plus, from what I read, these ruins were originally located in Mesa Verde, which I visited as a child, and they were moved here painstakingly to the Manitou Springs area as a tourist trap. And understandably, the Native Americans are kind of pissed off about it. Lastly, Seven Falls. You can also call this Seven Falls at the Broadmoor, and this also includes the restaurant 1858. This one is a winner, folks, but you have to plan ahead and purchase your tickets online at least one day prior. It's kind of confusing, and you have to follow the website instructions by showing up at the parking area, which is nowhere near Seven Falls, to be shuttled in during your ticket's time slot. From there, it's a shuttle bus ride through town up to the falls, where the restaurant 1858 is one of the first points of interest you're going to encounter, so you can plan to dine there first or at the tail end of your adventure, but believe me, this is a place to get your trout fix on, kids. Leave the trout in the stream and just order it here. They do it right. Seven Falls is totally worth a half day if you plan ahead and squeeze it in. It's a badass natural feature that is equally fulfilling whether you decide to climb all those stairs and go to the top, or just chill out at the bottom. Either way, I approve. Very cool. Oh, and apparently they light these falls up at night. We're gonna pull over in here for just a sec. Remember how they didn't allow drones in Garden of the Gods? Well, I think I found a workaround. Just outside of Manitou Springs, Red Rock Canyon is a great little hiking spot with no fees, no big crowds, and you can get a similar experience as Garden of the Gods without all the hullabaloo. And you can see the garden from here. It's a perfect little morning pit stop to get the blood flowing before heading into Manitou for the day. Now, there's a million reasons why people are excited to go on a trip to Colorado, and not the least of which, these days, is that whole legal weed situation. It's not a big interest of mine because, for one, I'm from Missouri where it's also legal, so there's just no novelty in it. And for two, I'm basically just a beer guy, a hophead. I can always trust a pint of beer. I know exactly what it's going to do to me, and there's no surprises. If you're more of a pothead than a hophead, no judgment. I'm even going to help you out here a little bit. One common misconception about the legal weed in Colorado is that since it's legal statewide, you can buy it recreational in just about any city, right? Wrong. Denver? Yes. Fort Collins? Yes. Colorado Springs? No. True story. Colorado cities reserve the right to allow recreational weed sales or not, and the Springs do not. So you'll be disappointed to hear that you're going to need a medical card in the Springs. However, that is where Manitou Springs comes into play, and they make no bones about it. Soon as you come off the exit ramp, boom, that's where all the legal weed is hiding, Manitou Springs. And that is one reason why Manitou is such a popular place amongst visitors to the area, especially on a sunny Saturday or Sunday afternoon. But we'll get into more of that here in just a minute. We had to make a pit stop here in Red Rock for a reason, so I could finally whip out my one-eyed Willie, the shittiest drone that money can buy, to capture a little bit of spectacular aerial footage, or so I'd hoped. Looking down from above into the canyon trails between the so-called hogback rock formations. Ooh. Trouble was, it was a windy day today, and my little mini drone is not a fan of wind at all. Even a light breeze can make it difficult to control, extra shaky, and highly dangerous to even attempt to... Uh-oh. Houston, we got a problem. You're caught in a downdraft, Willie. You gotta pull up, man. You're losing altitude. You gotta pull up. Pull up, Willie. Pull up. And that was the last that anyone ever saw of One-Eyed Willie. My apologies to the city of Colorado Springs. I swear to God I did not see that sign when I drove in here. I saw the no camping, the no fireworks, the no overnight parking, no authorized vehicles. I did not see the no drones. And I actually went to the website and looked at the rules, which is very unlike me, actually. So yeah, but I promise you this, that drone will be destroyed. It will never happen again. Back on the road to Manitou Springs, and to address your unasked question, if you're not really interested in the whole legal weed opportunity, then why else would you go to Manitou? Let me paint a picture for you. You got a few days in Colorado Springs, right? You've done Garden of the Gods, Royal Gorge, maybe done some hiking, fishing, or whitewater rafting, and by day 3 or 4, you're kinda tired. You've done a lot already, and you're pooped. Don't feel like making any huge decisions or going on some giant mission today? Well, spend a day in downtown Manitou. If you've ever been to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, very similar experience and vibe. About 5 blocks of winding, twisting streets crammed full of restaurants, gift shops, boutiques, bars, and snackeries. It's a one-stop shop for everybody in your group, where you can relax, switch off your overworked brain and body, and just wander and fiddle fart around. I'm not much of a shopper, and there was really just one place on my bucket list that didn't open till around noon, so I was forced to pop into a couple of places. I know one young lady who would have shit her Christmas britches in this place. This one was more up my alley. Weird jerky from animals from around the world? Yes please. I believe I've made my selection, sir. So, I'm sure you get the idea, and you'll understand why a day like this is a good idea. Downtown Manitou is one of those funky little areas of life where no matter who you are or where your interests lie, and no matter who you're traveling with, everyone is going to leave here happy, carrying shopping bags, bellies full of food, snacks, sweet treats, beer, and cocktails, and it's a great place to just divide and conquer. Spend a couple hours apart, just relax. Let the hardcore shoppers go shopping, and let the relaxers do their own kind of relaxing. Meet me back here at 2 o'clock, is what one of you might say to the other, and you both run off in your short pants in different directions. It's fine. Oh, and did I mention the side quest in Manitou Springs? There's a clue in the name of the town. There are around 8 natural springs in Manitou that offer drinking fountains, so you can pick up or download a map, bring along a travel cup, and stop by each of these funky little shrines to sample the pure, mineral-rich water of each natural spring. Each has a very different and distinct flavor, and each was purported to have different medicinal benefits, back in the days of snake oil and wind wagons and traveling tinkers with suitcases full of nostrum bottles. Okay, so at the great risk of becoming predictable, I'll let you know about the one place on my bucket list for Manitou Springs while we're waiting for them to open. Yeah, it's a brewery. It's one I'd heard about from another brewer in Colorado Springs as being one of the more experimental and strange breweries in the area. That's always going to get my attention. Turns out their idea of strange and experimental are very different from my own, because from where I was coming from, Manitou Springs Brewing played it pretty straightforward and safe, with a lineup of crowd pleasers and a menu full of pub fare. It was a gorgeous little brew pub though, and it filled up fast, so you might want to get there when the doors open. I went with an IPA and a little flight of street tacos. Both were pretty tasty. That's it, kids. That's all I've got for 3 videos worth of crushing the entire Colorado Springs area. And as you know by now, I'm not on a vacation, I'm working. And I've been on the road working now for almost 5 months straight with just a couple short breaks to be home with my people. So, I think the time has come to head back to Kansas City for a while. Hope you enjoyed the wild ride this hail season, from St. Louis to West Virginia to Nashville to Dallas to Colorado, with travel videos dropping at every stop on the hail trail. Thanks for coming along. Please like and subscribe, because it is you who help keep me sane. I'm done running. Think I'll go home now.
Starting route to home.